Good morning, everybody. That's the bad camera. There's the good camera.
Morning.
I hit the better button.
What's wrong with the other one?
It's the webcam up there. So if you look, the color's a little janky.
Yeah, I see it now.
And then, which
Maybe that's what I liked it. I liked how it like smoothed out some of my rough edges.
This is what we built K-ROG on. But then look, when we upgraded, just checked out the difference. It's so much better, isn't it? I mean, we're more.
I don't like the 4K me. It's too honest.
I don't need a 4K.
It's showing all 45 years at me.
Yeah, well, I hit 51 this year, so yay me. So, got to pay the bills. There we go.
Oh yeah.
The Reese Nichols people are always on me about making sure we get the logo on.
Pretty hardcore.
Who are those people?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So big holiday weekend.
It was a big holiday weekend.
I had
weekend
work yesterday.
Holiday. I worked yesterday too.
I spent yesterday in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Really?
What were you doing in Bartlesville?
Checking out.
You sound excited about Bartlesville.
It's a Oklahoma towns. Those old Oklahoma oil towns are curiosities to me.
I had never been there before, and so I was trying to take in some of it. It's
They're different. They're different
than
than Missouri towns because they had oil money.
It's college town now, isn't it?
Yeah, Oklahoma Wesleyan.
Okay.
Okay.
They got
I know why you were there.
Really solid NAIA soccer program. Like they were number 5 in the nation this year. Lost the national championship game last year, and so anyways, Sage had to try out, and Ryland didn't want to go. He wasn't interested, but Sage wanted to, so I said, all right, let's do it. Let's go.
That's reasonably close.
Yeah, it's like 2:45. I mean, again, I like the idea of them being less than a day trip away.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to make a trip, I think, up to Hannibal LaGrange here soon. Check that one out.
Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal LaGrange.
Yeah, Hannibal LaGrange.
What is Hannibal LaGrange?
It's the lesser known Missouri Baptist school.
Yeah, it's a solid, appears to be a very solid theological foundation school that has a trap team that gives scholarships.
Oh, there you go. That seems like a good fit.
So we got a good conjunction there.
That was really neat of you to put the Bible part first and then trap,
then the shooting. Hey,
priorities.
It's
Jesus guns.
It's gospel guns and grills.
Yeah. No, actually, I was on their website
Did you say
yesterday.
Grills.
Oh, I was
Grills.
like, wow, Will.
Grills.
I was on their website.
Did I mention the part
night.
I'm 51 this year?
No, I was talking for your son. I wasn't like,
Oh, no.
we're going to get him married off.
Well, yeah, that's a goal. It's certainly a goal. Yeah, he's the last one, so we got to
Get out of here.
But no, so that's
That's good. So when are you going up there?
Don't know. We're trying to plot that, but the issue we've run into, and I think everybody does, is college spring breaks are now the same as high school spring breaks, and so you got to do it at a different time.
But you get, they get senior days, or
Oh yeah, they get time, but you hate to take them out of school regardless. But.
No, you don't.
Yeah, they got to go to school.
Okay.
Nah,
You little heathens.
skip school.
So I went a little retro this weekend. I was looking for just some TV to watch, mindless stuff for a little bit, and I went back and started watching the very beginning episodes of MasterChef.
Okay.
And I did not realize what an exact copy of American Idol MasterChef is, except instead of like singing, you're cooking, because they've got like Gordon Ramsay is Simon Cowell. He's like the mean British guy,
Right?
And they've got 2 other judges.
It's a formula. It works.
It is a formula, and it worked. And it was entertaining. I watched the first 2 episodes of it, and I didn't stick with it, but it was a lot of fun.
Do you guys want me to become the mean British guy on this show?
Sure, why not?
That'd be fun. You'd have to get really
Just
tan.
throw barbs at you guys.
Yeah.
Get really tan.
Put my white t-shirt
Tan
on.
it up.
My white V-neck.
And then get some like Botox. Simon Cowell and filler.
Yeah.
He's looking different.
You know who
He looks okay on 4K for being in his 50s.
You know who doesn't look okay on 4K? Joe Piscopo. Have you seen that guy recently?
Who's Joe Piscopo?
Okay, fine.
I know Joe Pesci.
No, Joe Piscopo. He was a comic. He was a comedian. He was in some pretty crappy movies back in the day.
Hence why we don't know him. We only have exquisite taste.
He had
a refined palate.
But there for a time, he got like super buff. I mean, he was like totally buff, and now he's like old.
That doesn't
and
equate
he's
well.
clearly coloring his hair plugs.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
And
coloring his hair plugs.
Yeah,
I don't have plugs.
I'm sorry, Joe, if you're watching, but
since you're watching,
I think
since you're
watching, I think you just need to. I intend to age gracefully.
Oh, me too.
When are you starting?
I'm well started.
See, I could be the mean British guy.
I think you meant the gracefully part. When
That was
Oh, the gracefully part.
That was some gallows humor,
I
wasn't
see,
it?
wasn't it? Yeah, that was good.
throw a tomato.
But I don't want to color my hair. I don't want to do, it's just, I don't know. It's not me.
That's fair. I mean, once you, I think everybody realizes once they start that,
Yes.
you got to keep
Where
doing
do
it.
you stop? Yeah.
Well, and
Where's the line?
And then, like poor Joe, you reach the point where it's like you're not fooling anybody anymore. I mean,
Everybody
it's
knows.
like nobody.
You can't be like 80 years old and have jet black hair.
Right?
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What?
Except my mother, who does, because of the Native American in our background, is in her middle to later 70s and has black hair.
Yeah.
With some peppered in it,
Yeah.
some silver, that's just the way it is.
Legit.
And my
That's-
grandfather was the same way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you got that genetic background, you can sometimes you
might be
can
able to pull it off.
Yeah, it's not me. I don't have that hair. I got the lighter brown hair, so it's going gray. And that's fine.
Going great. I'm great.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's happening. We
fine
know
with me.
Will. We kind of know your hair.
We can see it. Yeah.
Excited about it. What I'm not excited about is my propane company letting our tank go empty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, Titan Propane. Appreciate that.
Ooh.
burn.
Shade thrown.
Yeah.
Well, it was worse than that. So
It was worse than that.
we've been, it's been sold a couple of times, but we've never changed gas companies since we built this house 20 years ago.
Gotcha.
We've always had that keep full. They come out, they keep it full. I've never worried about it. They send me an outrageously large bill, and I pay it every 6 months or so. Right? America, yeah, that's propane.
So they monitor your propane level.
Well, I don't know that they monitor it.
They just
but
have had you on like a cycle.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
come out and fill up your so. I get a notification from my Nest thermostat, which only burns propane when it's under 30 degrees.
Okay, so you got backup.
Yeah, and so we're heat pump. It's the backup if it's really
that makes
cold.
more sense about how you ran out because
Yeah.
it's not your primary source.
Right,
of
it's not our
heat.
primary
Okay.
source of heat. It is our
Check.
primary cooking. We have a gas stove
Yeah.
though. And so I get a notification from Nest that says, we think something's wrong because we've been running your heater and it's getting colder.
Danger!
And,
Danger!
so I'm like, I
Nest.
wonder if we ran out of propane because I was thinking, I'm like, I don't recall getting a bill recently, and so ding, ding, ding. We find out, yeah, it's out of propane, and so I call Titan and I get their, I don't know, she wasn't from here. Whoever answered the phone,
Okay,
wasn't
answering
from-
service. Let's spell that.
wasn't from here. Well, she's looking up the accounts and all that stuff. So, at any rate, I'm like, here's my account number. We're out of propane. She's like, okay, I can have somebody there in 72 hours on an expedited delivery. It'll be an extra $200 because you're out of
come
propane.
Expedited.
on.
Yeah. And then she's like, if it's an emergency, it'll be an extra $300 and we'll get somebody there in 24 hours. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's
I'm on
disgusting.
keep full. The only reason I'm low is because you all let it run out and you're charging me because you screwed up. It's like, oh no, you're on will call. I'm like, I have never been on will call.
Yes, you are.
Oh, nice.
I've never had will call with you. No, I'm looking at your account.
They
You're on
read
will
the
call.
They read the wrong line. They looked at the name line.
I don't know
Thought you were
what
on
they.
will call.
I don't know what they did.
That's funny.
But
Good one, kid.
after we go around and around about this a little bit, and I realized I'm not getting anywhere. I just said, I own my own tank, right? And she said, yeah. I said, well, I guess it's time for a new gas company.
Bye,
And I hung up.
Felicia.
Yeah. And I called Thompson.
Bye.
I called Thompson Gas,
Mm-hmm.
formerly Garrett Propane, right here in Rogersville, and they were super pleasant.
I had a good experience with Thompson.
And they'll like, we'll get out there as soon as we can. And they got us fixed up. And they said, and by the way, if this ever happens with us, we do not charge for emergency deliveries
That's
ever.
disgusting because
Yeah.
propane is
Yeah.
one of those things that it usually has become an emergency in the wintertime. You know what I mean?
Well, it was.
And that was where my mind went, was how many people in desperation, like this is their only source
Of heat, yeah.
And you're going to throw at a difficult time already
Yeah.
$200 or
When
$300
propane
fee.
is still, I'm assuming, really high.
Yeah, it's
per
pretty
gallon.
high. I mean, it's over $2 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's not gasoline prices. but-
Not cool.
insane.
Well, here's
Well, and there's a potentially an attorney general complaint. I'm going to research it later today because that's kind of price gouging.
good morning, Beth.
Yeah, it's
Well, here's the frustrating thing. So these lovely individuals build these small businesses, and they build them, and they do a wonderful job building them off of great customer service. And then they get bigger, and then people notice them. And then some big company comes in and says, I want to buy you. And I'm not anti-big company, but then it just mucks up the whole local customer service process.
Yeah, we've been through that multiple times
Yeah.
with different businesses that have
Yeah,
happened.
it just
happened.
happens. It's the nature of the beast.
And you know, I mean, as a small business owner, that's kind of your hope is that somebody will come in and say, "I'd like to buy your business for $50 million."
And relieve you of your duties.
Yeah, it's like thanks.
All the hard work paid off.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're all looking
But
forward to
take
that.
care of my customers.
Yeah,
Please.
We love them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I know. So here's what I'm thinking as you're telling all your stories is you're inside watching a new show. Everybody else was out playing in the snow, Will. I saw Lauren was out sledding.
She
I
was.
did. I did.
Yeah.
I
Were
love
you
to
not
sled.
sledding?
I
The
love
great
sled.
outdoorsman you are.
I did not sled. I'm a confirmed indoorsman.
Confirmed.
I like the
Looked like
inside.
you guys
We
were having
spent-
a
we
good
spent-
time
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
at JR's new hill.
JR and Emily hosted they called it like Black Diamond Lodge.
I saw them at the basketball game Friday, and he goes, "Man, I hope we get
was
just tons
ready.
of snow.
He was
I want,
ready.
I want to get out on the new hill."
Yeah, it's a good hill. It is, and it's got the bail factor where you have to be paying attention in certain areas of bail, or you might
Tree.
Yeah. So it was a ton of fun,
Creek.
and they had snacks and food for everybody, and it was a hoot. The girls had a great time. I went down the hill multiple times, then I had to go back up the hill, and then I'm like, oh, I'm exercising. It's good. This is good for me.
Did I
We've
see that
never had a
JR
good
was
hill.
sledding on a unicorn? Or a
It was
swan or something?
that was the drama llama.
Drama
that was
llama,
an
that's
inflatable
what it
llama, and it actually for the adults won props for the day. You know, there were different sled ratings based off of weight, and the kids couldn't do the llama because their butt would drag. The adults happily
We were all
wailed
right.
down the hill on the llama.
That's awesome.
I-
Was there
I'm-
anything better than sledding on a snow day when you were a
Crap,
kid?
no,
I mean,
it's
my
the
goodness.
best.
I'm seeing Olympic scoring going on here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I mean,
It was
you'd
good.
build a ramp, you just create obstacles. It was just
It was
the best,
awesome. It was
you
the
know?
best. And I mean, we had never have gotten just buckets of snow here. So it was always a big deal as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, we have a snow day. I mean, I remember we'd get out, and we did not have snow gear. When, we're out on
No.
the farm. And
Blue jeans.
blue jeans,
Borrowing your
socks for
dad's,
gloves.
long johns, and
Yeah, you got
they were way too big.
whatever
but
boots you had available.
Yeah.
They were not snow rated. So you had
Grocery
some sort
bags
of
on your
sweatpants,
pair
yeah,
of shoes,
sweatpants, and then jeans, and then maybe a jacket if you're lucky.
maybe.
There was no gear. And then you went out there and you just, you dominated the snow. You
And
sledded.
jeans are so warm when they're wet.
Oh, yeah. They're so, and
And
lightweight.
heavy, right?
They're so light.
Did you ever get on an old truck hood
I never did that.
Behind a car.
Yeah.
So sketchy. I never did that.
100%.
With
On the
extra-
ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when a parking lot was iced over, that was the best. Better than snow was ice.
My dad was pretty firmly a no four-wheeler, no hauling people on sleds kind
Thank
of thing.
you.
Thank
you
you.
see that?
Hey,
We're the #1 morning show.
Hey.
I heard it. You heard it right here.
Yes,
right. We'll
we
take
did it.
You did it.
We
Thanks,
did
everybody.
it.
The best cup of coffee in the world's best cup of coffee. Congratulations.
We didn't have any
Is this
hills
a
out at our
crappy
place either.
coffee?
So we went to our grandparents' house, who had a classic Cold War bomb shelter,
Nice.
and you could sled down the bomb shelter. It was super sketch though, because it was a quick drop,
Yeah.
and then there was about
creek.
I'm gonna say a definite wood panel fence, and
Oh,
you had
boy.
to duck
Yeah.
or die,
Duck or decapitation.
duck, bail, or die. Those were your options.
Duck, bail, or die.
And we just had knives in our hands for no reason.
I somehow think you're not joking.
There's an Olympic sport called alpine, which basically that's what it is. You
Planking.
ski around and shoot.
Shoot things, yeah. With a pellet gun.
Yes.
Our ancestors were like, that's what we used to do
That's
in
what
general,
we're
just to
doing.
live.
That was survival
That
mode
was
back then.
Alaskan
You
survival.
Slide by a deer and slit its throat.
I kid you not, when you mentioned knives, I had a picture of you just taking out a squirrel. Squirrel!
Oh my gosh. Nothing was safe.
No.
It's good times. We didn't have a hill at our house, but my cousin had a pretty good hill, and so we would go over there
yeah.
and slide. And yeah, there was a spot halfway down where I think like a tree had been removed, and so there was like a little pit.
Yeah.
It was a nice little mogul, and it's been 35 years at least, so memories may be altered. I don't know, but I swear in my mind he went through that thing and did a full 360
And I'm sure
off
it
of
happened.
that thing.
I'm sure it happened.
Yep.
Yeah, we had one of those rail sleds, that could
Yes.
really fly.
I've never
especially-
actually sled on one of those.
So good, and you could actually steer it, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
But those were so much fun. We had a hill though that it was pretty steep, but at the bottom it was a creek.
Yes.
And so if it was frozen,
Yeah.
you
You're
could
good.
hit that, and then you could actually get up the next hill and then back down the next
That's
one.
epic.
Oh, yeah.
But at
that's awesome.
some point during the snow day, as the sun would come out, because that's Missouri snow, right?
Yeah.
You get one good day of snow,
Yeah.
and then the snow begins to
Yep.
melt it, or the sun
Yeah.
begins to melt it all. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, somebody was going to go, and it was going to go crash right through, and you were just soaked.
The baptism of the sledders. Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
It is fun.
That's great.
So much. So
But
much
the
good.
snow's gone now, right?
gone.
It's mud. Thank you. Ugh,
Yeah.
It's the worst time.
The mud season.
Yeah,
mud
we're about to
season.
hit the mud season,
do
March
not-
and February and March.
I do not like the mud season.
I do not like the mud, Sam. I am.
No, I don't. Oh, good.
It is good times though, and I'm thankful that Jr. and Emily have a hill now for sledding, and I mean there's some other good places in town that are super fast, but
Well, we've had now 3 snows. None of them just massive, but this last one was at least enough to go play in. But
Yep.
I am now officially ready for spring.
they're done.
We've had winter. That was fun. Let's go.
Did any of you see? I just wasn't around here, but there was somebody that built a massive snowman, and somebody tried to like blast through it in their truck. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah, but what they didn't know is they had built the snowman around a tree trunk. So this truck.
That's what you get for being a jerk.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that way too much.
Yeah, I know.
I do
know.
too.
So you have to repent from liking it so much.
It's like, well, you had that coming, you,
Yeah,
you jerk.
I've had somebody run over a snowman before that was painful. So that's like, yes, you
Yeah.
just got it
Snowmen are
for
a lot of
all
work.
the jerks that did it.
Yeah, one of those T-posts,
Oh,
T-posts are a
man.
lot of fun. If you got some punkery going on.
Punkery.
You can do a lot of good. Well, that's been my whole legal philosophy of the criminal defense system is you only need 3. You need 3 crimes. Misdemeanor, stupid in public, felony, stupid in public, and general punkery. And if
Yeah.
you've got those 3 things,
That
whatever
pretty much
you've
scratches
done
every itch.
falls into one of those categories. And that's really all you need to define. And then let the judge and jury decide if you're guilty,
What level of-
what level,
Yeah.
and what your punishment should be.
Yes.
But if it's felony stupid in public, you can go to prison. If it's misdemeanor stupid in public, you can go to jail. And general punkery is community service and fines.
Yeah.
And
A good hard lesson for a teenager. Right?
yeah, that's my
General punkery.
general punkery.
That's
like
right.
it.
And there's a difference, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, there is.
because we
Criminal-
all
there's-
had a moment of
Yep.
stupid, and
Yep.
some
I
of
had
us
several.
some of us got caught, and others never got caught.
right. That's exactly right. But that's been my.
And you
whole
hope and pray your children don't get caught.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Because
do
you
you?
kind of hope that they're up to some shenanigans. I mean, that's kind of the safer shenanigans.
They don't anymore, though. They just
Yeah.
watch people do shenanigans on YouTube.
on the TV and laugh
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
You were talking. Well, Lord, I just lost my train of thought. It's
There was T-posts, punkery, destroyed snowman.
Pick a topic. We know you have a story.
You were talking about of maybe like as you're telling stories from years ago that they're altered in your mind.
yeah.
And I was telling a couple stories of times I got bit by a dog. It happened twice. To Evie, and I'm telling these stories, and I mean, these are how I remember them, and I'm like, I don't know if this is accurate or not. Like, it
this
seems
legend?
accurate. Is this legend? If I told the story, because you don't know, you get to a point where you've told the story so many times, and you embellish certain details
course.
of stories.
Never
as
ruin
you're
a good story with
trying
the
to
facts.
excite your friend, like the flaming fart cushion.
Legendary.
Go back 2 episodes and enjoy.
Flaming
You're
fart
welcome.
cushion. Yes, you heard that correctly.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, that happened. So, you think like, gosh, am I remembering this right? I guess it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Physics aren't working out for this one.
Yeah, it's still a good story. It's
The
what you've been
math,
telling it for 10
math
years.
isn't working.
Well, I was explaining to them, like, if a dog is running after you to bite you, you really shouldn't run from it unless you know you can beat it. Like, but there also used to seem to be a lot more packs of roving dogs in the country that might cause you damage.
Right.
There's not too many of those in the city limits of Rogersville.
No.
Thank God.
The Shih Tzu really tore after me. Actually, one of the dogs I got bit by was a Shih Tzu.
No, the
Yeah.
little ones, when I'm running, are the ones that I'm like most on guard with.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the little ones. Yeah.
Two times that I've been close to kicking a dog on a run, they've both been like barely above my ankles, but they were coming for my ankles.
Yeah.
And had the owner not been there, it was about to get punted.
was
And
gonna
I'm
go
a
down.
dog guy. I love dogs.
Well, you can't let a dog bite you. It can cause serious problems.
Right.
I mean, you gotta
was
do
about
something.
to cause some serious problems for that dog.
I was at my niece's house, and we just wandered in there, and they've got this little bitty. I mean, it's a rat dog. I mean, it looks like a rat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And so I'm just kind of standing. And this little dog is like gotten up on the chair, like to get like up near enough that because it's
Gnarl your face off.
yeah, and it's just like "Rrr," and I'm just like whatever, and I'm just standing there, and it just goes and it bites my arm right here. It's like a tiny little rat bite. It's like I'm looking at. I think this dog just bit me. And I'm like,
Maybe it was a rat.
Maybe it was a rat. No, I know what the dog is. It's just a tiny little bite.
Freaking dog bit me.
And I always love moments like that where the owner's just looking like, isn't he cute?
It's like,
Isn't
no,
he
it
such a
hurts.
sweet
That was not the scenario here. They were pretty, yeah, but they were appropriately mortified that their dog nipped me. I'm like, I don't even
Rat
think this.
bite.
Did it draw blood?
Yeah, it did, but I'm like, I don't think it needs a Band-Aid. It's just like rub some dirt on it. And I'm good.
Speaking of spittle, so I'm in Bartlesville, Oklahoma yesterday, and I'm in the hotel, and there's this the news is on, and they start talking about this pastor in Tulsa that's trending. So I guess he was preaching the blind Bartimaeus story, John 9, and he
Right.
actually had a guy up on stage, and he spit in his hands.
Oh, did you?
And the dude let him. And so he was trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, I know back in my
No.
youth ministry days, I had some shock value
Yeah.
illustrations, but I don't think I ever
Gross.
actually spit on somebody.
Yeah.
Yucko.
I thought, I don't know of one person in my church that would actually let me go that far.
Well, come on. I mean,
Yes.
ugh.
And this is what Jesus did.
There's nothing in the worse than that. Like,
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting. That is to me the most insulting thing. You spit on somebody, gloves are off. It is
I'm-
going down.
So as I'm listening to the news report, what I do, I Googled the guy because I wanted to see all the Twitter
Yeah.
fodder. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I bet it
It
was
was.
epic. That's when it goes from punkery to what was the other one?
Yeah, what was that? Misdemeanor. That's got to be a misdemeanor.
stupid in
I
public.
put that with felony.
That was-
It's stupid. in
That one
public.
might be felony, right?
You can be stupid in private all you want, but
Yeah.
stupid in public, that's, now we need to
On the
intervene.
live stream, like for everybody to see.
Yeehaw.
Yucko.
Oh, man.
I had a
Not
really
cool.
good conversation yesterday. I had lunch with a fellow attorney. He's from Marshville. His name's Justin Evans.
I've heard of Justin Evans.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's considering a little political activity.
Oh,
out
really?
Here, So
Are you supposed to announce that?
I don't know. I think it's out there. So I don't think it's a big deal.
Interesting.
But yeah, good guy.
That's cool.
And we were having some conversations about legal theory, and we were pretty well like-minded. And I explained my dude had it coming.
Dude had
theory.
it coming.
Dude
Yeah,
had it
I
coming
think that should
defense.
be
And
a-
he's
yeah.
like, yeah, I think that's
Yeah, it's fair. Fair
he's on
enough.
board with that. So
Fair enough.
Common sense application of the law is what I just heard.
yeah, it really is. If it should be a legal defense to assault and potentially murder that the dude had it coming.
He had
And
it
if
coming.
the jury finds the dude had it coming, then they can find you not guilty. Just like if it's a self-defense, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, like if somebody spits in your face.
And you,
Dude had it coming.
and the scenario that really we were talking about is if
No.
you've seen the videos of like Antifa, BLM, they know somebody has trained them on what the law is, which is
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
so they
usually-
come
yeah.
up, they get right in somebody's face who's minding their own business and just start
Yeah.
screaming and yelling at them.
They're going right up to the line of the law.
But they don't touch them. And so
Yeah.
you really can't do anything except leave or scream back, which is not okay.
Yeah,
that should not be your only choices. You should have the ability to offer them a swift uppercut and make them leave. But if you did that under application of our laws, particularly in more liberal cities, you would be charged with assault. They would be the victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And-
I always find fascinating because now under the new understanding of civility, I guess, is that no, you're yelling in my face, you're causing me emotional damage now, right?
Yeah.
Like where does that come
So
into
why
play,
is
right?
that not an assault?
Because it
and
is when
the
they want it to be
people-
emotional
The
damage.
people who are there with their faces getting yelled in don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Because it's usually police officers in a line.
Well, except that you had people during the Summer of Love that were going into like restaurants and just yelling at
Oh,
people
ew.
that are just sitting there trying to have dinner.
Like
or-
I'm eating a hot cake.
yeah, yeah. trying to enjoy my pasta.
That's what they called them back then.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think, as we used to call back in the day, an attitude adjustment on the top of the head.
Yeah.
There's plenty of that.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I think we're all obvious that we've gone too far and just different. And this is throughout all facets of society, that it's really hard to get back to the way things used to be.
Yeah.
And so I think we're just kind of stuck with a new normal. I had this epiphany as I was walking from the coffee shop to here of people are distrusting of the government now, I think, or at least questioning it.
Well, and
that's leading them.
We started that way.
That's how we got our
They're
beginnings.
supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
Then we decided, anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
And then, but it's in a kind of a different way, in my opinion, than it used to be. And
You're
this
right.
is both sides. I don't want anybody to think I'm being like specifically political about one side. I'm not. I'm saying in general. And because this has been going on for some time now. And now it's leading people to be untrusting of like professionals. And it's like, it's just because the craziness that you see on TV of this back and forth doesn't mean everybody's operating that way. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking to advice and you go to somebody for advice that's an intelligent person that you've hired or that, you trust, take their opinion into consideration. Don't just default distrust them because the media has taught us to be so riled up and distrusting of everything.
No, I think
that's my
I think you're
epiphany.
onto something. And Sage and I, on our 3-hour journey yesterday, we were having that very conversation. Credibility, trust is at an all-time low.
Yes, that's
I
a good way to
experienced
say
it in a very interesting fashion. It was just a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had mentioned. So, as a pastor, every Sunday, hey, there's a couple of announcements, know this. And for months, I've been saying, hey, we've got this app, download this app. And somebody shared their feedback on that, and they were like, I didn't want to do it. And as I talked, I was like, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, but I forgot. I'm speaking, so I know exactly why I want you to download the app.
Yeah.
But I forgot what it's like to be the listener. And the listener was going, this just sounds so gimmicky. And
I don't really want to app
Are we
it.
becoming like that? And I don't, and admittedly, this person's like, and I don't like being told what to do. And I'm like,
I
and you
understand
can
that.
be annoyed by that, but I was like, I totally get that. I'm the same way. I just was at the speaking side of it, not the listening side of it. And so it helped me to be a better communicator. Like, hey, just so you know, this is why we're doing it. And he pulled back. He was like, I totally get it. You just want to be a better communicator with the church, and that's why you're telling us to download this app. But here's what my gut said was no.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think society has pushed us to that point where we're just like, I don't trust your motives.
I think
Even
that
with
I
people
don't
we should
trust your
trust.
motives.
Well,
Even with people we should trust.
that is key right there.
And as a church leader, one of the biggest criticisms you're going to get is, I didn't hear you. I didn't know. You didn't communicate that well to me. And you're like, I'm trying to give you an app. I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, and you get that.
But again, I think because we had our trust broken so much, and in such a massive way recently, that even the people we've established credibility with, we're still going, but are you changing?
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't trust you now.
What did you say? Trusting their motives. I think that is so key to the thought. And it was just this thing that popped in my head as I was walking down here. I was like, oh, yeah, I think that's what this is.
Well, I see two issues because you see it, I see it, you probably see it too, is they'll come in, sit down, hire me, ask for our advice, but we're looking face to face. I'm talking to you about your particular situation, but somewhere else, you read something on the internet. And you believe
the
that.
infallible word of the internet.
And you will believe that over what the person sitting there, the professional you've put, and you don't know them at all. You at least get to judge. You can, judge my facial expression.
Yeah.
And so, but the willingness of people to believe what they read on the internet
on the freaking internet
is very frustrating.
Well, and what people don't understand is whatever information you've read on the internet is coming from a different perspective than the information you're asking for with the person right in front of you.
Yes,
usually.
totally different context.
Well, and I deal with Missouri law. You deal with Missouri realtor law. And the internet, I mean, what you have read, it's probably from a law firm in Massachusetts and doesn't even apply in Missouri and is completely different. The other problem I think we've got in the broken trust is the people that are breaking trust with us, our government, they won't admit it.
Right.
You know, the only way to fix
they're
this,
like, we're good.
the only way to fix this is to stop saying, I am the science, trust the science, and go, listen, this is the best information we have now. Yeah, that was the best information we had then. Turns out it was wrong. That, you know, but now we know better. This is what we think now. It might be wrong too, but this is the best we can do. And if it changes, we'll let you know. But they don't do that. It's demagoguery
it's
over
really weird.
demagoguery.
So I always
It's really
say,
weird.
never
It's really
trust a
weird.
man unless he walks with a limp. Right?
Exactly.
So, because if I've never heard you say I'm sorry, if I've never
Yeah.
heard you confess your sin, and that's the theological term, right? But if you've never
Yeah.
said I got that wrong, I really have a hard time believing.
And we
you.
have
But if I've seen you
example-
confess, if I've seen
Yeah.
you say, "Oops, my bad,"
Yeah.
okay, I'm willing to listen to you now because at least you have the ability within you to come back and say, "I got that wrong."
Sure. And what we've got is video after video of our political leaders being wrong
And then doubling down.
and doubling down and acting like they were never wrong and never made a mistake.
Well,
and
and
you've got video proof, and they're just like, nah.
I'm concerned if they've gotten to a point where they don't even, they believe their stature is so important that they don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a little bit like your
it's
storytelling
the
too. They've told it this way so long.
so long that I think I'm right. Well, I mean, it's like we've been talking a lot about the billionaires, like billionaires. I mean, so many people have been propping them up for so long because they want something from them. You know what I mean? That's a whole different level of living and existing. It's just a different deal.
It is interesting, though, because once I got to the point that I didn't need anybody to buy my lunch, people were always offering to buy my lunch.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. But I mean, it's real curious, and it's a frustrating thing because it's hurting the process of a lot of things. And I mean, I get where it's coming from. I do. I see why people are, kind of keyed up and why they're suspicious and questioning motives. But it's concerning because the only way this crazy rotating rock works is if people work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of working together, I just want to be clear. You can still buy my lunch.
Mine too. I mean, I'm not opposed to having my lunch bought for me. But I just think it's interesting.
I'm free today, as a matter of fact. Just throwing that out there.
I like Chick-fil-A.
Christian chicken.
Somebody's going to cancel you for that, Lauren. You're not you're clearly a bad
hate
person.
speech. Chick-fil-A, that's hate speech.
It's hate speech, yeah.
I like Sonic too.
But
Buy me some pagan chicken. I don't care. Not calling the Sonic people pagan.
What conversation will get
Pollo
us
Loco.
canceled today? Was it the dog conversation?
Could have been the dog.
Was it the chicken conversation? What will it be?
oh boy,
Choose your own cancel.
I was probably advocating violence. I don't know.
Yeah, you were.
I was. That's okay.
I had it coming. I had it coming.
They had it come in defense, but
Shane is probably really disappointed in us. We haven't kept it just strictly funny.
We always
pretty
find our way
funny.
back. We always find our way back.
the good part about
You
this
said
is
fart pillow. I mean,
what's funnier than that?
flaming fart pillow. That's what's funnier than that.
But you know what's good about K-ROG is, or bad for us, I don't know. You can find us. I mean, Lauren's in downtown Rogersville, and
Yeah, I don't really like people buying
I
me
never
lunch.
leave
You
the
can just
plaza.
come in
Chris
my
and I
office.
are here at
I
Jamestown,
got
and
church, K-ROG, and Storytime Coffee.
Yeah.
I don't need to leave James. And my wife is right here at Jamestown too.
yeah,
So
I
you can find us.
I bought back and forth between here and South Springfield, but we're local. We care about Rogersville, and
We
so
do care.
Absolutely.
and that's what everybody that finds out about. This is interesting because Justin and I had yesterday. We were having lunch. We talked a little bit. He's like, "Can I see that?" I'm like, "So I brought him over here and showed him this, and told him what we were doing." He's like, "That's awesome."
That's cool.
And when people find out what K-ROG is really about,
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's amazing."
cool.
We got an ownership group that's not even like trying to make money off of business. We're just trying to love our neighbors and make you laugh and give you information.
I'm writing checks on December 31st just so we show a loss, and we've given scholarships and
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah,
we,
it's
and
cool.
spotlighted businesses.
our advertising budget all went to Logan Rogersville to promote we put our sign on their bus. That's where our money goes is back into the community.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what, you talk about motives and credibility with people. I know people are skeptical. Like there would be some that would go, why would a church start a coffee shop? They another money hungry church. Like that's cost us way more than we don't. Any money we've ever made, we just give back to the community.
Well, I
Like,
think
Yeah.
you started it because you knew the town needed a coffee
yeah,
shop.
that was purely our motivation. There's not a quiet place to sit and have a conversation.
Right.
But I think people still hear that and go, yeah, but you're probably just trying to make more money, right? Like if you're skeptical, if you're cynical, and by the way, they have good reason.
Sure.
They do.
Their
They 100%
experiences
do. I
and
totally
past
understand why.
interactions with people. I get it, but
Yeah.
but I think that's always going to be our battle, is because credibility is at an all-time low. Just immediately people assume the worst rather than thinking the best possible.
Well, everything God creates, Satan counterfeits. So
Right.
everything good that you can have out there, there's going to be a bad version of it
Right.
somewhere.
And if you want to be a critic, you can find the negative example.
Absolutely.
It's too easy.
Yep.
Oh,
Low-hanging
yeah,
fruit.
100%.
Low-hanging fruit if you just want to be angry.
You know, I said to Will before we came on air, the thing that's hurt real estate the most is bad realtors and Zestimates.
Absolutely.
Those are the two things
Yeah.
that have just.
I'll sell it on my own. I
have
know what that guy
and,
did.
You know, I
Yeah.
told Jesse last night, it's hard to be in a profession where a large portion of the population basically calls you crooks.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Oh,
You got a pastor and a lawyer. There's been some negative press.
yeah.
We got the trifecta going on here.
We need to get Klaus in here for a used car salesman.
David, come on now. You're our guest next time Tom's out.
I just pictured Klaus walking in the door, just like, huh?
Did somebody say previously owned, pre-owned car? 'Cause
Pre-owned
that's
car?
what he would
Pre-owned
prefer
car.
you
Pre-owned car,
call
yeah.
him, as a pre-owned car dealer.
You know, way back in the day when you could do this, when there were Yellow Pages, I bought some Yellow Page
Oh my
ads.
gosh,
Yeah,
Yellow
I did. That's how old I am.
I'm kind of glad those are gone.
Me too. In fact, I quit advertising Yellow Pages years before everybody else quit, because I think I saw the writing on the wall. But I ran an ad. It was a quarter-page ad. It was a blank ad. And in the middle, it just said, "Hate lawyers? So do we." And there was a little asterisk, and at the bottom, if you read it, it said, "But only the bad ones. We also hate bad contractors, bad accountants, bad this, bad that."
That's a
And
great
George
ad.
Costanza,
Yeah.
bad tipper.
Bad tipper.
Bad tipper.
That's a
And that
great
was
ad.
our Yellow Page. It was a great ad.
That's a great
It was a
ad.
really good ad, but it was premised on that, because you're flipping through these pages and pages of lawyer ads,
Yeah.
and they're all, "We can do this, and we're this, and it's the same thing on TV." And I always hated that stuff, and I just thought, these guys are a joke, so let's poke a little fun at it.
Absolutely.
While we're doing it.
Did it work? Did you get a lot of calls on it?
Not really.
Call us. Call us at 222-2222.
Oh, man.
My favorite was, "We've never lost a workers' compensation case."
Because you've never gone to trial.
Because you've settled every single one of them.
Well, yeah, because we've settled them all. I mean, you can't lose if you don't play,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, that's good. It's good times.
Fun
And it's
times.
really hard to lose a workers' compensation case because,
Yeah.
I mean, the system is built
It-
for the
well,
to
it's
win,
just
yeah.
it's
worker to
designed
win.
just to
It's-
pay out.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's- yeah,
it's
that's
the
what-
insurance company.
Settle it. Let's move on.
Out.
Next. Yeah.
So good times.
Holy moly.
Well, I think we've
We
waffled.
whipped that pig at this point.
I believe we've waffled. I gotta go get my hair cut, because I'm still playing.
Okay. All right. Thanks for watching,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Friday's show is now Megan and Cassie.
I'm excited
I
for
handed
them.
that off.
They were
by the
so
way.
excited.
They did a great job.
I watched their
And they've-
announcement the other day.
And they've got big plans, so be sure to watch Friday.
They're
There you go.
cool.
Yep. Bye.